Do you ever look at a character and wonder what on earth happened to the person you used to know? That's exactly how I'm feeling about RJ Forrester right now. Seriously, when did the golden boy of the Forrester family turn into a corporate hitman? It's wild to watch, isn't it? One minute he's this sensitive artist type, and the next he's storming into the CEO's office like he owns the place. He's demanding heads on platters, specifically Will Spencer's head. Is this really just about a workplace disagreement? Or is there something much darker bubbling under the surface of that Forrester family tree? I mean, think about it. We are seeing a huge shift here. RJ has officially entered what I like to call his tyrant era. It's a move that honestly feels like a mix of pure entitlement and total desperation. He marched right into that office and told Ridge and Steffy to fire Will and Dylan immediately. No, please. No. Maybe we should talk. Just get rid of them. And it makes me wonder, is he trying to protect the company, or is he just trying to erase a rival who makes him feel insecure? Let's look at why this is actually happening. It isn't just about someone being bad at their job. From what we've seen, Will Spencer has been doing a pretty solid job at Forrester Creations. He's professional, and he's been there for a while. So, RJ isn't reacting to Will's work performance. He's reacting to that Spencer name. It's like the name itself is a trigger for him. He's using his own last name as a weapon. It goes to show that even the nice Forrester is still a Forrester when things get messy. Don't you think it's a bit much? It feels like he's trying to redraw the lines between who belongs and who's an intruder. RJ has lived his whole life being coddled. Brooke and Ridge have basically put him on a pedestal. He was always the perfect one, especially compared to the drama Thomas usually brings. But being on a pedestal is a scary place to be. When Will showed up, RJ didn't just see a cousin. He saw a threat to his spotlight. And he definitely saw a threat to Elektra's heart, I have to ask. What do you think is going on in RJ's head? I bet he's actually terrified deep down. He's feeling that sting of being replaced. It's a classic case of a golden child, worrying that the second they aren't perfect, they'll become invisible. But honestly, the way he's handling it is making him look really bad. He's framing Will as a chaos agent, but the only one causing chaos in that office is RJ. He's projecting his own feelings of instability onto Will just to justify firing him. It's a weak move, right? Watching someone use their parents' power to try and ruin a peer's career is just gross. It makes him look like the villain of the story instead of the hero we thought he was. Then there's the psychological side of this. RJ's ego simply can't handle the fact that Elektra might actually like Will's stability more than RJ's fancy pedigree. By demanding Will be fired, he's trying to control the room. He wants to make sure he's the only option left for Elektra. And have you noticed the words he's using? He keeps calling Will a sleaze and a dirtbag. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's a direct echo of how Ridge talks about Bill Spencer. RJ isn't even seeing Will as an individual. He's just seeing a cartoon version of Will's father. It's a toxic behavior he learned from Ridge. It suggests that all Spencers are somehow lesser than Forresters. It's a debt Will didn't even sign up for. Imagine trying to build a career and being told you're a lowlife just because of who your dad is. Will even offered to resign just to keep the peace, which shows a lot of grace. RJ, on the other hand, seems totally incapable of that right now. This whole thing feels like a proxy war. Ridge and Bill have been fighting for decades over women and business. Now their sons are doing the exact same thing. But the stakes are higher because they're all in the same building. The Spencer brand has become a symbol for everything RJ is afraid of losing. And let's not forget about Ivy Forrester. She's been right there in RJ's ear the whole time. She's feeding his delusions.
Why?
Because Ivy loves the drama. It keeps her relevant. She's using RJ as a tool to settle her own scores, especially against Steffy. Ivy's motivations probably come from feeling like an outsider for so long. By protecting RJ, she's building her own little power group. She's the one who actually stole Elektra's letter. That is some serious soap opera villainy right there. Stealing a private letter to make sure two people break up? That's cold. I honestly think Ivy is the real villain here. RJ is acting like a spoiled kid, but Ivy is acting with real malice. She's playing a high-stakes game, and people's professional lives are the casualties. She doesn't care if Electra is happy. She just wants the power of being the person who knows best for the family. But now Ridge and Steffy are in a tough spot. They're co-COS, so they have to keep things professional. They have a business to run, but they also have a family member having a public meltdown. Ridge had to remind RJ that Forrester is a place of business. It's a reality check that RJ is completely ignoring. Steffy has to be annoyed, right? She's the one who hired Dylan. She isn't about to let her brother tell her who she can or can't hire. She's trying to be the adult in the room while the men act like children. The CEO office has basically become a classroom, but RJ is the student who refuses to learn. This isn't just about Will anymore. It's about the future of the company. I have to agree with Ridge and Steffy on this one. You can't fire someone just because you don't like who they're dating or who their dad is. That's not how the real world works. RJ's demand is actually an insult to everything the Forresters have built. It's a test of authority. RJ is pushing Ridge to see if a tantrum will get him what he wants. If Ridge gives in, he loses all his credibility as a leader. He's being forced to choose between being a dad and being a boss, and things are only getting more tense. The professional mask of Forrester Creations is slipping fast. Carter already had to break up a physical fight between RJ and Will. That's how bad it's gotten. But here's the real kicker. The truth is about to come out. Daphne is ready to blow the lid off everything Ivy has done. When Electra finds out she was lied to and that Will never saw her letter, it's going to be explosive. RJ is currently standing on a mountain of lies, and that mountain is about to crumble. He's going to look like a total fool for defending someone who is actually a fraud. How do you think he'll react when he realizes he was wrong? I have a feeling this is all going to backfire on RJ in a big way. Ridge might decide that RJ is the one who needs a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised if RJ gets sent away to an international office just to cool off. Maybe he needs some tough love from Thomas in Paris. And what about Will? This whole mess might push him closer to the Logan side of things. Bill Spencer is already planning to expand the Logan empire. Will might find a much better home there than he ever did at Forrester. It could be the start of a massive shift in power. The younger generation might realize that Forrester loyalty is just another way of saying Forrester drama. I also expect Electra to go on a mission to get back at Ivy. And honestly, good for her. Ivy deserves to be kicked out of the inner circle for what she did. The funny thing is, RJ will be left with nothing. His reputation will be a mess, and Will and Electra will probably get back together and become the power couple RJ wanted to be a part of. It's a tough lesson to learn, but maybe it's one he needs. So, let's talk about the big returns this week. We've got Shauna Fulton and Wyatt Spencer coming back to town. Bill Spencer is the one who called Wyatt back to help with his big plans for the Logan Empire. But Shauna? She's just showing up to stir the pot, as usual. Bill does not look happy to see her. Can you blame him? Every time Shauna is around, things get complicated. Do you think she's going to try and get a job at Logan too? Or maybe she's got her eye on Ridge again. That would definitely cause some friction with Brooke. It feels like the old rivalries are being recharged. With Hope also thinking about moving to Logan, the Forrester-Logan-Spencer war is reaching a boiling point. Did I want to know what you think about all of this? Is RJ totally out of line? Or do you think he has a point about the Spencers bringing drama? Let's be real, the Forresters bring plenty of their own drama. And what about Ridge? Is he doing the right thing by standing his ground? Or should he be doing more to control his son? It's a mess, but it's the kind of mess we love to watch. I'm curious if you think Ivy should be fired immediately, or if this is just how things go in the fashion world. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your theories on where this is all going. If you're enjoying these deep dives into the Forrester power struggles, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on those notifications. We've got new updates and commentary every single day, and you don't want to miss what happens next when the truth about that letter finally comes out. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one to see if RJ actually gets his way, or if he's the one packing his bags. Now, let's think about the bigger picture for a second. The way characters are being recast also changes the vibe, right? We have Brian Nicoletti stepping in as the new RJ. A new face can sometimes make a character feel completely different. This version of RJ feels much more aggressive and entitled than the one we saw before. Do you think the new actor is doing a good job showing this darker side of the character? Some fans are already missing the old RJ, but this new energy is definitely making things interesting. It's like the show is leaning into the idea that RJ isn't just the good son anymore. He's got that Forrester ego, and it's finally coming out in full force. And then there's the Spencer side of things. Well, Spencer, played by Crew Morrow, is really holding his own. He's showing a level of maturity that we don't always see from the younger characters. He's trying to be professional while RJ is basically throwing a tantrum in the middle of a business office. It's an interesting dynamic. Usually, it's the Spencers who are seen as the wild cards, but right now, Will is the steady one. It makes RJ's attacks feel even more unfair. He's calling Will a lowlife and a sleaze, but Will is the one offering to step down to avoid causing trouble. Who is the real lowlife here? It's hard not to root for Will in this situation, but we also have to talk about the Logan family. They are right in the middle of this huge corporate shift. Hope is facing a life-changing choice. Should she stay at Forrester where her line is being relaunched, or should she move to Logan and start something new? Her decision is going to have a massive impact on the family dynamic. If she leaves, it's a huge blow to Forrester Creations. Brooke is excited about the line returning, but Katie and Donna are stuck in the middle of the feud. It's a lot of pressure on one person. Do you think Hope should jump ship, or should she try to make it work with Steffy? The tension between those two is always ready to explode. And speaking of explosions, the whole jewelry line drama with Ivy and Elektra is just waiting to blow up. Ivy is using the line as an excuse to keep RJ and Elektra together, but it's all built on a lie. When Elektra finds out that her aunt manipulated her feelings just to get her away from Will, it's going to be game over for Ivy. Elektra has been questioning Will's character for weeks, thinking he just ignored her letter. Can you imagine finding out that the person you trusted most was the one sabotaging your happiness? That's a betrayal you don't just move on from. It's going to be a very bad day for Ivy Forrester. The fallout is going to affect everyone. Once the truth is out, Ridge and Steffy will have to make a choice. Is stealing a letter a firing offense? Most people would say yes. Ivy's actions have caused major problems between staff members and created a toxic environment. If Steffy has her way, Ivy will be out the door in a heartbeat. She never wanted her there in the first place. And RJ? He might not get fired, but he's definitely going to have to answer for his behavior. He's been acting like a Nepo baby in the worst way possible, demanding his dad fire people he doesn't like. It's time for a reality check. What's really interesting is how this mirrors the past. Ridge's hatred for Bill Spencer is being passed down to the next generation, even when it isn't justified. It's like a cycle that never ends. RJ is acting out Ridge's old grudges, and it's ruining his own relationships. He's so focused on being a Forrester that he's forgetting how to be a decent person. It's a fascinating look at how family trauma can affect the kids, even years later. Do you think RJ can ever break away from that, or is he destined to be just like Ridge? We're also seeing some movement with other characters. Deke is feeling optimistic about his life for once. Maybe Hope will give him a job at Logan? And Dylan is dealing with her own issues, trying to keep her cousin Remy away from the office. There are so many moving parts right now. It feels like the show is setting up for a massive summer of drama. With all these returns and corporate wars, there's never a dull moment in Los Angeles. I really hope we see some consequences for Ivy. Manipulation is one thing, but stealing a letter and lying to your own family is another level. It's the kind of thing that should have long-term effects. If she just gets a slap on the wrist, it won't feel right. We need to see Elektra stand up for herself and hold Ivy accountable. And I'd love to see Will get a win for once. He's been the punching bag for RJ's insecurities for too long. It's time for him to show everyone that being a Spencer doesn't mean you're a lowlife. So, as we head into this week of May 25th, keep an eye on those office scenes. The energy is going to be electric. Between the low blows, the return of Wyatt and Shauna, and the truth about the letter coming out, it's going to be a wild ride. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get the daily breakdown of every episode. We're We're going to be talking about all of it. Do you think Wyatt and Bill's plan for the Logan Empire is going to work? It sounds like they're trying to build something that can actually compete with Forrester. If they manage to pull Hope over to their side, they'll have a major fashion line to lead the way. It would be a huge shift in the power balance of the show. I can already see the look on Ridge's face if his daughter and the Logan family start their own successful company. He's not going to take that well, and what about Shauna? She always knows how to make an entrance. If she's looking for a job at Logan, she's definitely going to cause some drama. She's got a history with a lot of people in that building. It's going to be fun to see her interact with everyone again. Denise Richards always brings a great energy to the show. Do you think she's back for a long run, or is this just a short visit to stir things up? I also want to see how the younger characters handle the fallout. Will RJ and Will ever be able to work together, or is that bridge burned for good? They've already gotten physical once. It wouldn't take much for it to happen again. If they can't find a way to be professional, one of them has to go. And right now, RJ is the one making the most noise. But being a Forrester doesn't always protect you from your own mistakes. Just ask Thomas. Anyway, it's going to be an incredible week of television. I can't wait to see how everything unfolds. Don't forget to like this video if you're a fan of the show, and leave a comment with your biggest prediction for the week. Who's going to have the biggest meltdown? My money is on RJ, but Ivy is a close second. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive. I love talking about the bold and the beautiful and all the crazy twists they throw at us. It's such a classic soap for a reason. I'll be back tomorrow with another update, so make sure you got your notifications on. Until then, stay bold and keep watching the drama. I'll see you in the next video where we find out if the Logan Empire is about to take over Los Angeles, or if the Forresters can find a way to stop them. One last thing. Have you noticed how the tension between Steffy and Hope is just constantly simmering? It feels like no matter what they do, they're always on the verge of a huge fight. If Hope leaves for Logan, it's going to be the ultimate betrayal in Steffy's eyes. But maybe that's exactly what needs to happen for both of them to move on. They've been stuck in this cycle for so long. A little distance might be the best thing for everyone. Or it might just make the war even worse. We'll have to wait and see. That I'm also keeping an eye on Donna. She's often the one trying to keep the peace, but she's getting caught in the crossfire of this Logan feud. It's not a fun place to be. She loves her family, but she also loves being at Forrester. She's going to have to pick a side eventually. Who do you think she'll choose? It's a tough call. Okay, I'm really done now. Seriously, thanks for watching. You guys are the best. See you tomorrow for more bold and the beautiful talk. Bye for now. Wait, I just thought of one more thing. What if Bill's plan involves more than just a business move? What if he's trying to win Katie back for good? Giving her a whole fashion house is a pretty big gesture. It would be very dollar bill to use a corporate